the VSA Capital 5 Minute Morning Miner. It's Wednesday, I should know the date, shouldn't I?
It's the
Uh,
ninth.
9th of, the 9th of July. Oh, I nearly got caught out there. Morning, Paul.
I'm fine, thanks. Hi.
Good. Right, there's a few things actually today I wanted to talk about. Let's just start though on copper, because obviously it's just sort of gone a little bit ballistic with this move by Trump. You're the American here, Paul. What's your view?
Oh, he's definitely targeted copper this time around here, and specifically, I think it's a part of the practice of his administration that they definitely want to onshore manufacturing and get business back into the inside the borders of the United States. Now, in the case of copper, refined copper comes primarily from Chile and from Canada. So, they're not in the best of terms with Canada in particular right now, and we'll have to see whether or not there's going to be any special terms or exemptions with individual companies or countries at this point in time. And that'll be worked out in coming weeks, I would say. They still haven't worked out the final terms on the tariffs that are already been announced on aluminium and steel around various countries and so forth. So it's a case that's still up in the air, and uncertainty, of course, is what's driven that short-term LME price up to record highs at this point. But the USA, in its own specific situation, they do have enough copper in the ground, but what they don't have is enough investment conviction by the finance market on the capex, and they also don't have a way too long a permitting time in order to get the big copper deposits developed here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much the finance, isn't it? The problem is like the environmental permissions. You get all these people who complain. I've forgotten what the name of the mine is, but there's one massive copper mine. Doesn't Rio own part of it or something?
Well,
It's
that's the Resolution deposit in Arizona, but there's also the Pebble deposit in Alaska, and there's also
mm,
the other one down in Tucson that has down outside of Tucson, the Hud Bay have, and also ones like the White Pine operations up there in Minnesota. All of those are being impaired by NGO act or First Nation, or I should say Native American activity uh,
mm.
as far as getting developed is concerned. But and that's part of the permitting process as well. But that's the what I mentioned, that the permitting process needs to become a lot shorter. And I think there needs to become a if America is to be great again, as they say, then there needs to be a resolution among all parties that these deposits must be developed, and therefore, how do we do it in the best sensitive way?
Yeah. Anyway, look, we're bulls of the copper price, and copper is moving up nicely. Sadly, Camel, which should be a play on copper, with this bid that's gone a bit haywire, is down today, which is a bit disappointing. There you go. Just talking of commodities, I just think it's worth pointing out. Obviously, we follow vanadium quite closely because we're so involved with vanadium flow batteries. But I just noticed, I mean, recently that the Chinese are developing their flow battery industry like I don't know what. It's just extraordinary. Literally tens and tens of gigawatt hours of flow batteries being put in place, and yet the vanadium price has really hit rock bottom in China. I suspect it's now hit rock bottom because of the massive development of flow batteries coming out of China, which will almost certainly mean the cost of these batteries will then go down, because that's what the Chinese are very good at. And therefore they will then spread worldwide, and we'll all be playing flow batteries. Obviously, very good for Infinity Energy Systems, but that's beside the point. What I'm really saying is, I think that vanadium price has probably hit rock bottom now. It is extraordinarily cheap, and probably there's quite a lot of upside in that one too. You'll be pleased to hear, Paul. I'm starting to move your way a little bit.
You're going to turn bullish on me here. Things are afoot.
Things that are afoot. Now, let's. Sorry, that's a little bit on commodities in general. I'd also add just one which isn't news today, but we've talked a lot about in the past. We've been very quiet about it. Panthera Resources. People may have noticed it's just starting to sneak up, sort of quarter a p here, half a p here, etc. I believe there's some strong US buying, and US investors are starting to get into the litigation game. So we could have quite a nice run in Panthera Resources, I suspect, off the back of US buying. Paul, over to you. What news you got today?
Well, it's a Q3 production report out from the dual quoted chrome and PGM producer in South Africa, Tharisa. Exemplary lost time injury frequency rates they reported here. Nothing at all out of Caro Platinum, and zero point zero 0.02 on the number for Tharisa Minerals, the South African production operations. Chrome production is up by about 15,000 tons to 395,000 tons of chrome, and PGM production had risen as well by about 4,000 ounces to 34,500. That being said, with the mining reef volumes up on this particular quarter, they're still playing pretty cautious here on their guidance for the year, such that they think management has chosen to lower their guidance by about 5% off the low end, just to say it's going to be something just under 140,000 ounces PGMs for the year. Um, Although the prices are much better too across chrome and PGMs in this particular quarter as well, it's going to be a mixed picture when the finances come out.
Okay, fair enough. That's anything else, or is that enough? I think it's enough, isn't it?
That's enough for today.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Back tomorrow. Thanks.
Very good.
This podcast has been produced and edited by VSA Capital. It is intended for information purposes and not as investment advice. The information is intended for recipients who understand the risks associated with equity investments in smaller companies. Please do your own research and do not rely on a single source when making an investment decision. VSA Capital may derive fees from this content and seeks to do business with the companies mentioned.